changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration. It's Motivational Monday, and today I'm going to share a story that I think will give you a new perspective. It's one that is all about learning to accept a little more risk in order to have a fuller life. We made a book last year called Chicken Soup for the Soul, Reboot Your Life. It was filled with ideas and advice for how to make meaningful changes in our lives in order to enjoy them more. And I've always loved this concept that you can stop in place, evaluate your life, and then hit that reboot button and start again, but on a better path. That's what happened to Avis Carr. And as she titled her story, it happened, quote, just in time, end quote. Avis went out with one of her friends, and her friend wasn't actually being very nice. She said to Avis, "You're one of those just-in-case kind of people." And she went on to explain that she personally was a just-in-time kind of person, and that just-in-time people had a lot more fun. She said that Avis was always planning for the worst, just in case. Then she pointed to Avis's huge purse and said, "I'll bet you have an umbrella in the bottom of that huge purse you carry all the time." Well, Avis did have an umbrella in that purse, even though it wasn't raining. Now Avis was feeling bad. Why was she even friends with this woman? They met every Friday for coffee after work, but she always made Avis feel like a fool. Avis tried to defend herself. She said, "What if it rains? You'll be the first one to get under my umbrella because there is no way you have one in that little change purse you carry." And her friend replied that was just the point she was making. Avis was so weighed down by all the just-in-case things she was carrying around in her bag and in her head that she was weighed down by all of them. Avis left her friend then, but when she got home, she started looking around and she realized that she really was a just-in-case kind of person. For example, and this is crazy, she had been expecting a package, so she had left a note for the mailman on the mailbox, telling him that she had put a plastic bag inside the mailbox, and if he dropped off the package, he should put it in the plastic bag in case it started raining. I guess you have to admire all that looking ahead, but seriously, who does that? That's no way to live. Avis started looking around her apartment at all the just-in-case things that she had. She had shoes that she had never worn that were sitting in her closet just in case and had been there for more than a decade. She had 3 sizes of clothing in her closet, her current size, a smaller size, and a larger size, all just in case. And the clothes that were too big or too small for her were all out of style. There was no point holding on to them. Avis started pulling shoes and clothing out of her closet to give away. And then she noticed how boring her clothes were. They were all safe colors and safe styles, and they all matched each other. But there was nothing that was actually fun, bright, colorful. It was after midnight when Avis finished loading her car. She would be dropping off all those just-in-case items at Goodwill first thing in the morning. And then she was going for a run in the park, something she hadn't done in a while. Then she was going shopping. And then she was going to get her hair cut in a new style that might or might not work out, but she was going to try it anyway. She did all those things, and then she stopped at a neighborhood place where she could get something to eat and watch the hockey game. She's Canadian, by the way, hence the hockey game. The place was packed, but a stranger asked her if she wanted to sit in his booth with him. Normally, she would have said no. After all, he was a stranger. But then the new Avis said, yes, why not? They had a great time talking all night, and there was a bit of romance in the air. So Avis's friend may have been a bit mean in the way that she talked to her, but she really did her a favor. It was like a heavy cloak was lifted off Avis's shoulders. A few simple words from her friend, and her eyes were opened, and she was on her way to a much brighter way of living. All it took was a simple aha moment for Avis to reboot her life. Tomorrow is Tip Tuesday, and we're going to talk about another kind of reboot. And this was when a husband started acting very peculiar and complimenting his wife for no reason. We'll find out what happened. I'm Amy Newmark. Thank you for listening to the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast today. If you'd like to read more tips from Chicken Soup for the Soul Reboot Your Life, please go to our website, chickensoup.com.